Org. I am Reverend Charlene Banks, and I am playing Tamara today. I am your hostess. I would love to just let you know that you are right in the exact space that you're meant to be. We are so blessed this week to have a guest speaker with us. It is Reverend Melinda. As we all know, she needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce her anyway. As you know, the theme for the year is Open at the Top. We are part of the CSL large organization. Open at the Top, fantastic theme, especially now. And this month, the idea is Ancestral Wisdom, New Thought. And today's talk title is Circulation and Wild Strawberries. Because why not? Because why not? Those two things go perfectly together, don't they? Well, here are my slides that I shall begin to share. And sit back and relax and enjoy this welcoming video, after which I will introduce our guest speaker, Reverend Melinda.
Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly. And so it is.
And so it is indeed. So as I mentioned, we have our beautiful guest speaker, Reverend Melinda Jacobs, and you already know that she is a certified clinical hypnotherapist. She's been assisting people in their healing through and beyond their past trauma into the light. In fact, she's even got a podcast that talks about the alchemy of turning everything into the gold that is your life. So that's a little free plug for me. You're going to hear much more about what Reverend Melinda offers, not just to our community, but to the world at large. She is a true healer. She is taking us through a transformative journey. She's exactly who you need to talk to you right now, today, of all the days, of all the weeks, of this very fresh new year. So, without further ado, I will introduce you to Reverend Melinda. Hello.
Hello. All right. Well, thank you, Charlene, for that. Let's go into that sacred practice of stillness, of quiet, of turning within. That doesn't necessarily mean closing the eyes for all of us. If you need to move, If you need to, keep your eyes open and just soften them on something to focus on, do that. Honor yourself where you're at, please. And for the rest of us, we do turn inward. We do shut out the external world and move into that place of the heart. And I invite us all to just place our hands on our hearts, for I know for most, our hearts are hurting. And just focusing on the breath, allowing that breath to move with ease and grace. Nice, gentle, soft breath in. Easy tension releasing with the exhale. Breath in. Easy exhale. If it feels good to your body, to your heart, to your soul, to keep your hands holding your heart, please do. Otherwise, you can just allow them to softly relax down. Just being with the breath. For a moment, let the noise of the outside world fall away. Let the gentle sound of the music and the silence in between be the focus. Feeling that support beneath you rising up to hold you. Knowing that the universe, the earth, your angels, your guides, your guardians are holding you with as much effortlessness as the chair, the couch, the floor beneath you. Allow the body to soften and sink and be held by this support. Let every point of contact be a reminder to your body, to your heart, to your mind, to your spirit, that you are supported in this moment, in every moment. That divine presence, the great I am, closer than our breath, holds us, walks with us, informs us, and carries us. Bringing all your attention to the breath in now. Breathing in, receiving. All your attention on the exhale, giving, releasing, letting go. And just noticing how your body so beautifully, perfectly shows you how to be in the flow of circulation. Every breath in, you receive. Every exhale you give. Breathe in the love of the earth, the love of the divine for you. And notice how open you are to receive it. And as you exhale, give the love that you have for the earth, for the divine. Notice how freely you give it. One more collective breath together, breathing in. Exhaling, releasing the meditation, coming back, softly blinking your eyes open. And when you're ready, Charlene's got some music for us.
Sweet spirit of light and love, sweet spirit of light and love, sweet spirit of light and love, spread your wings and shelter me. Sweet spirit of quiet and calm, sweet spirit of quiet and calm, sweet spirit of quiet and calm, spread your wings and shelter me. Sweet spirit of life and song, sweet spirit of life and song, sweet spirit of life and song, spread your wings and shelter me. Sweet spirit of light and love, sweet spirit of light and love, sweet spirit of light and love, spread your wings and shelter me.
Oh, thank you, Leah, for that beautiful, beautiful song. What sweetness. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Reverend Melinda. It is always my honor to be with you and share with you and commune with you and hold space for you and with you. So thank you, Reverend Charlene, for continuing to invite me back. Well, beloveds. I will try to not cuss today. Just there's certain things I need to remind myself of. Our monthly theme, ancestral wisdom, new thought. Oh, our ancestors hold all that wisdom, right? And yet, like children, we're kind of like, well, do it ourselves, and we kind of throw away everything. And yet, at some point, we come back and we remember that our parents, our ancestors actually knew some really good quality stuff. So today's title is Circulation in Wild Strawberries. And I want you to just, wherever you're at today, just breathe. And I think that's probably the biggest message that Spirit has for us today is breathe. How might your life change if you gave and received as freely as wild strawberries? Circulation in Wild Strawberries is the title. So let me give you the story, shall I? So this comes from a book called Braiding Sweetgrass: Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants, written by Robin Wall Kimmerer. I hope I said that right. So the Robin that is referred to in this story is the author. The gift of strawberries. In a way, Robin was raised by strawberries. Even in the richness of trees and flowers of upstate New York, it was the wild strawberries that gave Robin her sense of place. After the school bus dropped her home, she'd rush out to the fields around her house to look for the patches of white flowers with yellow centers, dotting the fields in May. All through June, the children would keep watch over the strawberry plants as the petals dropped, and then the little green nubs appeared. These were sour, but they ate them anyway, impatient for the real thing. Robin could smell the ripe strawberries before she saw them. She'd lie on her stomach in her favorite patches, searching for only the reddest of the red, leaving the pink ones for tomorrow. Her father loved wild strawberries, so for Father's Day, her mother would almost always make him strawberry shortcake. Mother baked the crusty shortcakes and whipped the heavy cream, but the kids were responsible for gathering the tiny wild berries. Dad thought wild strawberry shortcake was the best present, a gift that could never be bought. In Potawatomi creation stories, strawberries are important. The Sky Woman came to Turtle Island. She carried a beautiful daughter in her womb. This daughter grew on the good green earth, loving and loved by all other beings. But tragedy befell her when she died giving birth to her twins, Flint and Sapling. Heartbroken, Sky Woman buried her beloved daughter in the earth. Her final gifts, the most revered gifts, grew from her body. The strawberry rose from her heart. In Potawatomi, the strawberry is Ode Min, the heart berry. And so what a beautiful story that is, to give life to life, to bring forth something into the world. A beautiful, precious being, a beautiful, precious gift. And tragedy befalls. And the vessel that being, that presence lived in goes back to the earth from whence it came. And then the earth gives back the strawberries. That's the circulation we're talking about. Science of Mind says that the law of circulation teaches that giving and receiving are inseparable aspects of spiritual living. I am going to say that so many times. Giving and receiving are inseparable. You cannot do one without the other. And that's why the focus today in our meditation was on the breath. We could invite the breath to be our greatest teacher. How to give freely, how to receive freely. Ernest Holmes states, "It is only as we allow the divine current to flow through us, on and out, that we really express life. The law of giving and receiving is definite." So Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind talks about we're surrounded by a perfect life, whole, harmonious, and abundant. And I'm just going to pause right there. We are surrounded by a perfect life, whole, harmonious, and abundant. And I don't know about you, but right now I'm having some dissonance with that, because I look about the world and I'm like, where is the wholeness? Where is the harmony? Where is the abundance? What Ernest Holmes doesn't emphasize is that God's life is the perfect life, and that is the life that we are living when we embody it. We are here by divine appointment, each and every one of us. We have free will to create, consciously or unconsciously. And we're seeing a lot of unconscious creation right now. And probably we're participating in some unconscious behavior or creation as well, yeah? I can certainly own that. And so some of what we're seeing out there is not God's life, but what man created, which creates this illusion of separation. Because we're seeing each other as other. And that was definitely demonstrated in the streets of Minneapolis this week. We are surrounded by a perfect life, whole, harmonious, and abundant, but we experience its fullness only as we embody and express it. Well, there's the trick right there, isn't it? Only as we embody and express it. So when we are expressing wholeness and abundance and harmony, much like the strawberry story, that we're living in harmony with the earth, that there is this beautiful natural giving and receiving that happens. It's when we fall into the illusion of separation, when we fall into these creations that we've created that we forgot to take responsibility for, that these teachings create a dissonance, because we're seeing things happen that appear real. And isn't it interesting that this week we were told that there's something not real, and we're like, no, we see it. Like there's the dissonance even outside of ourselves. The divine offers us all good. The divine does. And we receive as much of that good as we are willing to receive. Now, how willing are you to receive? Be honest. In the, I was going to call them show notes. in the show notes from today's talk, the statement, which I really actually quite disagreed with, because I want to read it to you as it is. The divine offers us all good, yet it can only give as much as we are willing to receive. I'm saying no, that's not true. I just don't believe that's true. I don't believe that the universe ever tailors or adjusts the amount of good that's coming into our lives, into our world. It is a constant, full-on, 100% of the time, full stream of good, always. Always. If we hold a little thimble out to the universe and have the thimble filled up with good, and we take our little sip and we continue to stay engaged in our creation of separation, then it's not going to look like there's a lot of good in the world. If we hold out our Winnie the Pooh cup and fill that up, there's a little bit more good to be had. But when we recognize that our being is immense, that our ability to receive is immense, and we open our hearts to receive, oh, the miracles. Course of Miracles says there's no size of miracle. There's no small miracle. There's no big miracle. There's no little bit of abundance. There's no big amount of abundance. It's just all, right? So one of our points for our talk today is that everything is a gift. The gift of the wild strawberries, the sweetness of that ripened strawberry, the hands and the love that went into the gathering and the making of the strawberry shortcake is this beautiful example of how luscious a gift can be, how full, how rich. When it's filled with intention, when it's filled with love, when there's time and energy put into it, it gets harder to look at everything as a gift. I know that as ministers, we're trained to, hold ourselves together and be that pillar of light and truth and to stand in that. And I come before you today, I'm shook. I'm absolutely shook by what happened this week. And I'm still not grounded yet. I'm getting there. I'm working on it. Everything is a gift. That's hard. I don't know about you. I don't know. Am I the only one that's a little hard to hear right now? To see the lack of harmony, the lack of kindness, to see the separation, to see the sacrifices that are happening as a gift, that feels like a big, huge ask. If you've heard me talk before, you know I'm offering this retreat called Living the Life of a Mystic, and I really feel more than ever called to speak and teach what it means to be a mystic. It means to have a foot in each world. It means to have a foot in the human world, the recognition, the knowing that we are experiencing and living into our own creation. We created separation. We created the division because that never existed in the mind of God. There never was separation. There never was other. And yet, something within spirit at some point stirred within itself and said, okay, knowing all this goodness and knowing all this allness and knowing all this love is good and great and wonderful. What would it like to be separate from it? It thought itself into these individual expressions. It thought itself into this unique expression called Tamara, Reverend Charlene, Reverend Melinda, and each and every one of you. And that presence is moving and operating individually through us. It is operating as us. And so when I look out into the world and I look at this week's events, there is a part of me that can see that Renee Good, her life was a gift. Her light was a gift. And how she moved out of this human form into her next evolution as continuous energy, because I know and I believe that energy is not destroyed. I've had the experience of leaving my own body and becoming pure consciousness. I had a moment. I died. And so I know that there is something beyond. And so I know for Renee that she continues in her love, in her light, in her purity. And the moment of moving from one form to the next, a little bit, hold that as a gift, because it woke up the world. How many of us knew her before this week? No, but, well, I mean, some, a few, a handful, maybe 100, maybe 200 people, maybe 300, I don't know. But the world knows her now. And her light and her transition from form brought millions into the streets, brought millions to find their voice. That's a gift. That's powerful. And yet we can hold the humanity of the tragedy of how that transition happened. We can hold that as unjust. It takes a very mature spiritual mind and heart to recognize the gift in all things. And so I invite you, beloved, to be very gentle with yourself as we continue to move through this really uncomfortable growth period that we are in collectively, as a nation, as a country, as a world, as a species. We're really being called. And I said this to Reverend Charlene this morning. I'm like, wow, we are really being called to look at what are we creating. And so I want to move into the third point of living the gift. To bring the spirit of giving and receiving more fully into our lives, we can begin by asking ourselves 3 powerful questions. First, what is mine to give? I think that church, through this practice of tithing and all, has created kind of a little bit of a sour taste for some, that, oh, they just want us to give. But the truth is that we give to that from which we receive. The idea of tithing is all about giving back to the source in which fed you spiritually, right? The practice of tithing came from putting 10% of our food resources to the side to manage during times of loss, times of famine, through the cold winter times, right? To create this storage and to create that sense of circulation and abundance throughout times when there was a little restriction in the food source. But it's evolved. And even I have this, the neuroscience of generosity. I want to share this with you because I loved this, that giving rewires our brain for well-being. Recent scientific discoveries have provided compelling evidence, show us the data, that acts of generosity profoundly benefit the giver, literally rewiring the brain for happiness and health. Research indicates that giving activities activates the brain's reward centers. When it's done from a place of just effortless giving, let me just share with you, let me just give to you, it actually stimulates the release of feel-good chemicals of dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin in our brain. Oxytocin, the love chemical. Giving actually can create a sense of well-being if it's done in a way of just sharing. If it's done in a way of have to, well, you're going to build some resentment there, and you're not going to get that beautiful brain boost that generally can happen when you give freely. The statement is, freely I give, right? The next question to consider is, Let me find it. I lost it. What's mine to give? How open am I to receiving? That's our second question. How open am I to receiving? I want you to watch yourself over the next days, weeks, months, when you receive a compliment. When someone says, "Oh, you look so beautiful today." What do you do with that gift? Do you breathe it in? As Charlene was introducing me, I was noticing a little restriction, like, oh, that's a little uncomfortable. And it's like, no, 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 no. Receive. Open the heart and breathe it in. The breath shows us how to receive. You know, the interesting thing when giving and receiving is out of balance, especially in like relationship, if someone is a giver and they only give, it forces the other into having to be the receiver. And they never get the benefit, the experience of the other part of the equation of giving, because there's just constant this way. I know a lot of givers in my life. I know a lot of givers who are living spiritual lives and on a spiritual path. It can't just be one way, beloveds. We have to open our hearts and be willing to receive, to know that the breath is going to be the teacher. You can't just exhale. Not going to work. You have to receive. I think this is a powerful, powerful practice. I'll just leave it there. It's a powerful practice. And as we move into this week and practice that law of circulation, recognizing the places where we can give, even if it's just a simple smile. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be grand. Sometimes less is more. Maybe there's a little intuition inside that says, oh, I should send my sick friend some pho. Like Reverend Shar was saying earlier, because yesterday Tamara was not feeling so good. Just acting on those little internal niggles, because we're interconnected. And if you get that little sense of, oh, I should give, I could smile, I could leave something, I could send a thank you card, I could say, thank you, you're important to me, I appreciate you. Words of kindness, presence, all those things are powerful gifts that you can give that have nothing to do with money, right? So as you go out in the week, I want you to practice. As you inhale, just notice your ability to receive all the good that the universe is already showering into your life. As you exhale, what is yours to give? And I want to share from, I created this badassery oracle. And it's a fun little deck with some really nice little spiritual messages. And this one really wanted to be shared today. Be the light that you are in this beautiful lighthouse. And on the back, simple message. And I just want to close with this. I'll start with a prayer and then I'll finish with the card. And so I just want to go into that moment of recognition that even though there is a lot of uncomfortable things happening out in the world, even though I recognize and know that the spirit of love is behind it all, underneath it all, infusing it all, even though it may not be embodied, it may not be expressed by human beings. It is there. I recognize that divine presence of God moving in, through, and around all things. I see it in the smile of a child. I see it in the kindness of people's outpouring of love and gifts. when tragedy strikes. I see it in the outrage. I see that love, that passion that says we can be better. We are better. I know that love is what is bursting forth in this time. That love is the light, is the presence, is the life of God itself. And where tragedy strikes, I know that love exists. In each and every heart, I know there is a spark. In each and every heart, I know is the presence. And I choose to recognize that. I choose to see that in all things, in all ways, in all situations. And I allow that love, I allow that light to hold the grief, to hold the anger, so that I can walk the life of the mystic as we all are, one foot in the world of our creation and one foot in the remembrance of the divinity that we are, that can and is expressing through us when we choose to allow it and embody it. I give great thanks for this community. I give great thanks for all the love and support that is here, that is being expressed. Love is the louder voice. And we rest in that. And I finish with this. When the lighthouse strikes its light, it does not measure the storm. It does not judge the storm. It does not say to itself, I must understand where this is all going before it shines the light. All it knows is that it was built to endure darkness, mighty wind, and the waves that will crash endlessly over its structure. It's not afraid either. It doesn't know when the storm will end, how powerful it will become, or the reasoning behind its creation. All the lighthouse knows is that it is safe, and that it must shine a light in the darkness to help others find the safety of harbor. It never questions how it becomes light, but it knows who it is and what it's for. It also knows that the light it carries is expected, and those in the dark are looking for it. And so as we practice our circulation, beloveds, know that you are the light. Shine it before all humankind. People in the dark are looking for it. And so it is.
We're alive by the grace of the earth and the sky. It's by grace. We're alive. We will rise, we will fall with the rhythm of the tide. It's by grace. We're alive. By grace that we'll survive. By the grace of the earth and the sky. By grace we'll survive. By grace that we survive. With the rhythm of the tide.
Wow, what a deep teaching. Also, shout out to that very last lighthouse thing. I do love that. I love that. People need it. People need to see our light now more than ever. So, thank you, Reverend Melinda. You always hit it out of the park. And now I have to do what I have to do. I have to be Tamara in this moment. Speaking of donations, We would never expect you to give 10% of your salary. Let's just put that out there right now. No. Unless, yes, but no. Whatever the Spirit moves you to give, go ahead and do that, because we're one of those places that takes what we receive and we give 10%. 5% to our home organization and 5% every quarter to a designated source. And I have a feeling what we might be giving to this quarter. It's probably going to be something along the lines of freedom and justice for all of us, not just some are more equal than others, but no, no. All right, so we're going to help with that because we are an organization that moves into the world. We don't just speak about it on Sundays. We move into the world with it and we bring our consciousness to it. We are the light. Let's act like it. So please text your donations to the number on the screen there. Many of you are already giving regularly. You are very appreciated. You can look for your statement of giving in the mail this month. And listen, no matter how you give, take your gift, whichever whether it is an automatic, mine's automatic, just hold that device, which is part of that universe of connectivity, close to your heart. And I want us to bless our gift into the world. So say with me, our blessing of our gifts. The presence of the Spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the lives of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to this day in which I live. And so it is. All right, just a quick little, I know we're going a little late, but it was worth it. Just one tiny baby announcement. We are in 2026. We're living the vision. Open at the top. We're living it a couple of ways, and you know me, I am your tech girly, and so I've created several tools for us to use. One of them is the online Open at the Top experience, where you could go month by month, week by week, with whatever theme is up and whatever fun title is up, and you can see some really handy journal prompts that you can use to help stay into contact with who you are and how you are showing up in this world. Melinda dropped some serious questions and contemplative things, and I hope you're taking note in your journal for the year, sorry. And you can get that in our other QR code that you see on this slide. So this slide not only has how to make sure that you are being prompted to journal along the lines of these teachings, but also go ahead and grab yourself a little theme-based journal, and why not throw a blanket or some stickers or some other stuff in your basket, because the CSL shop is live and it's on shop.cslleesburg.org, and the theme of the year is on theme.cslleesburg.org. You don't have to remember much. CSL Leesburg, that's where you are. Shop or theme, easy. Go there, use it. These tools are for you, and I am here to support you. So without further ado, let's everybody unmute their mics and let's put our love into the world by just declaring that we know it's true. 100% of love is present right here, right now. In fact, I am love. And you say,
I am love.
Yes. Now open your eyes and look around and see all the love and say, you are love.
You are love.
Oh my gosh, could it be that if you put your hands up in the air and wave them like you just don't care, could it be we're all love?
We're all love.
It's all love. Okay, take that love, take that light, carry forth into the world, and be the change that you want to see. Blessings. And we'll see you after service. Come on and join us on Zoom. We're talking about it.